everybody. This is Young Living Diamond, Sarah Harnish, and I have the honor and the privilege of shooting to you guys a video from sunny New York State. It's almost sunset, so, hopefully we get enough light to be able to get this in, but I wanted to stay consistent with the time that I typically shoot. So if you are just hopping on, we are in the middle of Scriptbook Boot Camp. So you're going to see my face live, even when I'm traveling, even when I'm doing all the things, you'll see my face live until we get through all 25 scripts. So I'm going to be hand teaching every single one of these classes so that you guys have copies of the classes and can see them taught at least once by the person that wrote the class. So Laura, it's good to see you. And Valerie, it's so good to see you. I know it's kind of weird for me to go live 3 times in 1 week, but this will be our new norm until we get through the script book. So there's actually 4 books in the set. We're not going to train on 2 of them. Not doing the Oiler edition or the Teacher's edition tonight. Tonight we're focusing on these 2. And normally it would just be the workbook, but we had some technical issues last night, so I wasn't able to finish the mini. So we'll do that one tonight. So we're going to be wrapping up the mini from last night, and then we're going to do all of our training on Fearless in the workbook. So that's class 106. Why do you want to utilize the workbook in addition to the book? Why don't you just grab the book and go teach your teams and let the Lord convict them and do what he will, with the content and information? Because when you give people direction and you give them focus, then you give them purpose and you get them excited about things and get them thinking about things that they maybe might not have done. The reason I'm in New York is because I'm in the middle of doing a care school with Global Director Anthony Stewart right now with my team. My whole team's sitting in a big circle and they're about to do raindrops and vitaflexing and all sorts of stuff on each other, which I'm super excited about. And I'll fly to different parts of the country and sit down with my teams in different states. We just did one of these in Ohio a few months ago, and just kind of glean the wisdom of Anthony and of the care school instructors. They're just wonderful people. Matter of fact, they actually vetted the raindrop class for me in this book to make sure that it was consistent with the way that Gary Young taught it. So I'm pretty excited in the script book to have their clarity on it. But so I slipped out, and I'm going to be shooting tonight from New York. When we jump back in next week, we're doing Oils of the Bible, which is my personal favorite class of all time in aromatherapy. It's really the reason why I feel like I can do Young Living, because I'm not really a network marketer and I'm not really a salesperson. My background is in anchoring news. I'm actually going to be anchoring news tomorrow morning before our care school up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. But I've got 23-year background in that. I'm not very good at selling stuff. So if I'm going to be sharing products, I need to love those products if I'm going to be sharing them. And I just don't feel like I could share a pot and pan or a pair of leggings like I can oils that God created, that I know people are going to put on and have responses and reactions to them that are positive. And I just feel very differently talking about the stuff that God created, where he gets the glory for all the stuff that he did, versus something that a company is peddling. I could talk about oils forever. And so that's why I really love teaching the Oils of the Bible class that we're going to do on Tuesday, because that's where we get to pause and say, hey, when people come to you and say, do the oils actually work? Then you could turn around and say, God made it and he didn't make any mistakes. Louise says, I'd love to learn raindrop technique. Well, you're really in luck, Louise, because that's the next script after Oils of the Bible. So I'm in the middle in the script book. We're on class 106 right now, which is the 6th class. Oh, Lisa says my skin looks amazing. Thank you. I'm feeling like I look a little tired tonight. But I've been traveling for many hours, many hours. And so we're going to be doing the raindrop class after the Oils of the Bible class. And I'm in the process of shooting all of the hand positions right now. So when you guys teach it and you use the PowerPoints that are free on my website, you'll be able to click on a little 30 or 60 second video that will show that technique. So you could say, hey, here's feathering. This is what it looks like. And then you just hit play on the slide and it's zoomed in on my hands and they can see what that technique looks like. So I'm pretty excited. Pat says, I want to learn it all. We got 25 classes we're doing, 25 classes for this boot camp. So the nice thing about Scriptbook Boot Camp is you're never late, you're never behind. Like when we're doing Game Plan Boot Camp, you kind of need to understand some of the earlier chapters to get some of the later chapters. Like they build on top of each other, understanding structure to understand placement and compensation and all of that. With the script book, you can pop in anytime. So if you go on a family vacation for a week and you come back and we're just on the next script. So maybe you missed learning about blending or you missed learning about Gary. You can just go on my website and go watch the video and share it with your team. So you're never ever late. You're never behind. Every single Tuesday we reset and we just pick a totally different topic and we train on that topic. So Tuesday is the class. And if it's a longer class, we'll bleed into Wednesday. Wednesday is the mini. We're going to tear the mini apart and how to utilize that to market your classes and get people in the door. And then Thursday is always the workbook where we talk application. And I would recommend as business builders that you guys get all of the books. We actually put them all in a bundle and discounted it 10%. So you could just have an easy button and send it to your leaders and say, this is what I recommend. The teacher's edition's in a binder, and that's what you teach off of. And I like a clean copy for teaching without a whole bunch of scribbling on it because the font's a little bigger when I'm standing in front of people. I don't want to be nervous, so it just gives me a little more confidence to not have to hold a book open and it lays flat for me because it's in a binder. The Euler edition is for you to scribble all over and put next to your nightstand and just get lost in it, just tear it apart. And every time you read a script, you're going to learn different things that you didn't pick up on the first time. And then the workbook gives you the application steps. They're actual action steps for every single script in the book. And then the mini markets you. It markets what you can do. So I would recommend you just go to oilabilityteam.com, click on the script book button. We got it under share and under shop, and there's a bundle of all 4 of them, and it's discounted. So that said, let's jump into the mini. We didn't get through very much of this last night. I apologize. Apparently, when somebody calls you while you're doing a Facebook Live, it messes up your sound. So I learned the hard way, and I'll make sure that my messenger is completely off and that I'm not getting calls in while I'm trying to teach you guys. So in the mini, this is where we're teaching out of. I love this little book because all 25 classes are in one mini. You don't need to buy a mini for thieves and a mini for blending and a mini for Gary Young. Like, it's all in one book. And every single section has 4 parts to it. So the first one is remembering the class, and it just gives you some of the key points from the class because most people remember 1 to 3 facts about a class, and now they're going to remember 10 to 20 facts about the class. Or maybe they stumble on a topic and it's a class they never would have gone to, but they open up the mini and they read the remembering the class section on it, and they're like, that actually sounds really interesting. I'm going to ask her if she can teach that one, or come over to my house and come teach it to me and my mom, or me and my best friend. And it's awesome. If you want to do a 5-minute class on your page just to entice your leaders to come to classes, we have people using the words in this book as a promo to be able to get people into the big classes. A way I'm using it on my team is, I don't know if it's hit you guys the same ways it's hit my team, but trying to get people to re-engage that were heavily engaged a year ago and were coming to classes constantly, but now are used to being home for the entire year and having their groceries delivered and not really going out of the house a lot. I'm having a hard time getting them in the door. And so what I've been doing is sending these to them and just asking them, which one are you most interested in? You ask them a question that requires an answer, and I use it as a tool to get them back into the classes. Carolyn says, I just taught the 103 Ningxia a few hours ago. I love the teacher's edition. That's awesome. And I want you guys to know, when I give you a script, it's all inclusive. Like, it's got a lot in it. Most of those scripts are about 15 pages long. They take an hour to an hour and 10 minutes to teach. Some of them are as little as 30 or 40 minutes, but most are about an hour. I was trying to go for a 60-minute marker on them. Don't feel like you need to teach it all. You can read through the class and say, that part just doesn't speak very much to me, or I think she's giving too much information here or here. Cut a couple paragraphs out or cut a page or 2 out and teach it the way that you would feel comfortable teaching. It doesn't need to be every single word in the script. My team is used to sitting through 6-hour classes. We'll sit down and we've started Oils of the Bible classes at 11 and midnight before and gone until 6 in the morning. So they're used to sitting there for hours. So I tried really hard to pare it down. And just make it something that's, very, very teachable. But, I'm used to teaching long form. So, if your style is not long form, then don't teach it that way. Break it up into a week of classes, or maybe do 5-minute videos, and you do Fearless and 5-minute videos over a course of a whole month, if that's the way that your team consumes media. So whatever serves you the best, there's really no wrong way. What I have done is generated a tool. You're going to take that tool and you're going to grow it in the way that the Lord has gifted you with your unique talents and and the ways that you are used to connecting with your team. He's going to give you the right way to be able to do that. Okay. And we can talk forever, soaking it all in. I don't know if I'm going to keep that Oils of the Bible class to an hour. I just love teaching that class. Oils of the Bible is so much fun. And we are going to be launching that one on Tuesday, which means the whole PowerPoint and everything. It's pretty neat. By the way, my team just loaded the Fearless PowerPoint on my website. So for those of you guys that have been waiting for it, we release a media package every Thursday. There's only a couple of us working on the media packages behind the scenes. So I'm going to try to have it all done by Thursday. We'll definitely have the PowerPoints and the scripts up for you, but there may be a trickle effect where we keep adding things to the site and I just tell you when we put more up, especially some of those DIY videos from the workbook and all of that. It's really hard to run a boot camp and teach classes to your team and market your book, and put media packages together. It's just a lot of behind the scenes work and, homeschool your kids and clean your house and cook food and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing the best that I can to get as much to you guys as possible. But at the very least, we'll have those PowerPoints for you so you can look professional when you're teaching these. Okay. All right. So back into Fearless. Let's just delve into the mini and then we're going to go right into the workbook and we'll do them both in one swoop tonight. So remembering the class. And I was just giving you points right out of this. This is stuff these are takeaways. The average person remembers 1 to 3 facts from a class. So if you give them 20 facts, look, there's 2 pages. Every single one of those paragraphs is a whole nother thought. If you give them 2 pages of information, you just multiply by 10 or 20 the amount of data they're taking away from that class. And when you put knowledge in people's hands, they're going to make educated decisions and they're going to start switching products out. So what makes Young Living a pioneer in the essential oils industry? Like, why are we so cool? What makes us different? Aren't we just the same as all the oils out there? Isn't every single oils company the same? Well, no. First off, our distillation methods are copied around the globe. Like Gary's cookers didn't exist before Gary Young. They weren't around. I don't know if you guys follow Lauren Cruz Dow. She's a diamond. She's a really good friend of mine. She just put a post up on Instagram today with her standing in front of Gary's very first cooker that he put together. And it's pretty neat because I've seen photographs of his cooker and other essential oils pages and other companies stuff, and it literally didn't exist before Gary. He's the one that welded it together to create that machine to be able to do the distillation that we do today. It's very different than what's done around the world, and so it was very effective. It makes very good oil, so he's been copied everywhere. Young Living is the first company to have over-the-counter products that are oil-infused. Did you know that? So our Cool Azul pain cream is an OTC, over-the-counter medication. So is our acne. So is our acne cream. Our cough drops are an over-the-counter medication. So is our sunscreen. So is our insect repellent. All of those things are OTC medications. So that's pretty darn cool to have stuff that's oil-infused that is a medication. Nobody's done that before. We have more oils, over 200 singles and blends than any other company on the planet. There is no other oils company in the entire world, nowhere, nobody, that has as many singles and blends as Young Living does. Not even companies that profess to be very, very pure. They don't even have, half of the oils that we have. So that's crazy. I mean, there's oils you cannot get other than through Young Living. We were the first to generate Smart Spectrum CBD. It did not exist until Young Living came out with it. We were the first oils company to send an oil into outer space. That happened at convention 2 years ago. Gary Young discovered Dorado Azul oil. That was him playing around in the Ecuadorian rainforest. He was also the very first to distill Copaiba oil. So Copaiba oil existed not as an essential oil, but he was the first to distill it. Before Young Living, and those aren't the only 2 of the ones that we've done, but we are pioneers with it. Before Young Living, essential oils were not distilled on a mass scale in the United States. There were companies that were really good at 1 oil or 3 oils or certain families of oils, but nobody was distilling and blending 200 oils. That's very unique. And so now that you can find it everywhere with all these other companies, it's because we're being copied. Because what Gary did was very successful. So they're the very first large-scale essential oils company in the world. And now we have over 600 products, 7 million global members, and 3,000 employees. And we do $2.5 billion in sales annually. That's crazy, right? So this is just some things that make Young Living absolutely amazing. Our library, we haven't talked a lot about that, but our library on constituents is the largest in the world. We've got 30 years of data on what the plants do, how well they grow, what needs to be done to make their roots very strong. No other company's been around that long distilling that many oils with that large of a library. So all of those are reasons why Young Living is just amazing. And those are reasons outside of Seed to Seal. I mean, of course we can talk Seed to Seal forever, but if you just need some talking points about the company that are not specifically Seed to Seal, we're innovative. We're innovative. We come out with things way before everybody else does, and we're just a great company. And you got integrity on top of it. So, without oils, here's the next point. What's your body's blood absorption rate of supplements? Well, it's less than half the supplement within a 24-hour period. With oils, it's 86%. That study was done with the supplement multigreens. So what are two really good reasons to start cleaning out the cabinets in your home? Well, number one, the stuff is toxic and you don't want to bring icky ingredients inside your house. And number two, even products that may be relatively good are likely not oil infused. So your body isn't assimilating even half of that product. How often should you use oils? Every single day and as much as you possibly can. One reason you shouldn't fear oils is because there have been no major issues with people becoming sick or dying from their use, despite millions of Young Living oil users consuming Vitality oils daily and using them topically, aromatically, and emotionally as well. So you got people on 6 continents, 7 million members using these oils internally, topically, aromatically. Not a single case of somebody dying, not a single case of, an extreme reaction. You think we wouldn't hear about something like that. And people still come to me and say, are you sure they're safe? And I'm like, dude, man, I trust these way more than what I trust on the shelves at the store, like way more. You could use colored glass. You should use it when you're storing oils because it helps to block the sunlight, which can deteriorate the effects of an oil over time. Burning candles in the home releases dirty soot and also particles of zinc, tin, and lead, which are not good for the lungs and they're not good for the brain. Also, 40% of wicks in candles contain lead. So we get it out of the paint in our walls. So why would we want to burn it in the air that we're breathing? All right, you don't want to do that. You don't want to breathe it in. This is all out of the Fearless class, guys. So that's one page in the mini. All that I just read you, that's one page in the mini. So a diffuser offers quite a few benefits over a candle. So instead of chemicals from a candle or a plug-in air freshener, you are swapping out toxins for plants. You're supporting the body instead of hurting it with harmful ingredients. Also, a diffuser acts like a humidifier, bringing moisture to the air along with the benefits of the oils. Most oilers use about 6 to 8 drops of oil in a diffuser at one time. So when you see redness on the skin, you want to dilute it with a carrier oil like olive or coconut oil. My favorite carrier oil is Young Living's V6, which is a combination of 6 powerful carrier oils in a single bottle. There are over 1,400 VitaFlex points on the body. So these are places where you can put an oil to shoot it right up a nerve to an organ in the body. So it's as if you're working on that organ from the outside of the body. It's going to feel the positive effects of the oil. One of the things I love in the care school, I told you guys when I started, I'm at a care school right now in New York, which is why I'm shooting from my car, from my rental car. One of the things we love doing is putting peppermint on the toe and then tasting it in your mouth, right? Because it's shooting up that nerve, and you're going to taste it in different parts of the body. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just put the oil where your best guess is. So play with the oils that you own, and you're going to find stories just by getting the oils on your skin and letting them do what they need to do. Now let's talk some simple anatomy. This was one of my favorite points in the Fearless class, and I would love you guys to just outline that and make a little chart for yourself of all the great places to put oils on the body. I'd love to, when we're done with boot camp, go back and flesh out some of these classes and give you guys more graphics and tools that you can share with your team. Realistically, when we only have 3 or 4 days in between classes, I need to be spending my time prepping the PowerPoints for you and making sure that they're ready for the launches. But I'd love to go back through the book when we're done with boot camp and add some things to it and to the media site. And so one of the things I'd like to add is just a chart of all the places to put oils on the body. So tonight we were passing around Joy oil and everybody's dropping it on their hands and hand cupping it. And I'm like, dude, do you know how good Joy oil is over the heart? Oh my word. It's like the oil. You're going to put an oil on your heart. You do rose or you do joy, because joy's got some rose in it, right? You do one of those, one of those. So I had everybody going and putting it on their heart instead. And we're going to have super happy people tomorrow for the care school. It'll be amazing. So what is the best place to put an essential oil in the body? My favorite spot, if I had to pick one place on the entire body that I knew I was going to hit, the most things and get the most bang for my buck, it would be the medulla. So if you don't know where that is, it's the soft place on the back center of your head. So if you take your hand and you put it right in the center of your head, and you're going to feel your skull bone right in the middle, you feel just under it, it's going to feel soft. That's your medulla right there. And there's a huge nerve bundle there. You got your vagus nerve and all that, and it goes to every single organ in your body. So if you want to hit a lot of things at once, that's where I would drop the oil if you only have one, a little bit of time. I also love the big toes. Those are the nerve endings to your brain. There's a nerve that, runs directly to your brain from your toes. You can apply it over the heart. You can apply it on the hands, the feet, and the spine, and down the earlobes, where there's a lot of emotional points. You have tons of emotional points in your earlobes. The longer oils stay in contact with the skin, the more likely they are to be absorbed. Medulla, Medulla. So there are two ways to apply oils topically to the body. You can blend them, or you can layer them, or you can just drop it on the body. But, layering is basically dropping it on the body, but with space in between the drops. So layering is dropping oils one at a time, 30 to 60 seconds apart, right from the bottle into the skin. For blending, mix the oils in a bottle and let them sit for 24 hours to meld together. Blending is great for perfumes, skincare, massages, pre-mixed diffuser blends, salves, ointments, and beauty DIYs. You can also pre-mix frequently used recipes to use in a veggie capsule, for example. I'm just giving you right now, if you're just joining me, there's 2 pages on Fearless in the Scriptbook Mini. This is a little $1.50 tool that you've got for marketing your classes, and I'm just giving you the key points from this class. That class is 30 pages long, and you're getting 2 little mini pages out of that class. So, for blending, you're going to mix the oils in a bottle and let them sit for 24 hours, because that's going to allow all of those different oils to mix together. It's a big process for an oil to achieve GRAS status. People say, okay, the white vitality oils, these are the ones that the FDA says are safe to consume in the human body. But what does that actually mean? What does it mean? What it means is that every oil has to go through toxicology testing. It has to go through organic chemistry testing. It has to go through biochemistry testing. It has to go through metabolic testing, and it has to go through pathology tests. So every single oil has to go through all of those tests. All of Young Living's vitality oils are designated as GRAS oils, generally regarded as safe, and approved by the FDA for internal consumption. They have passed every single test. So if you don't think that they're safe, you eat the food, right? You eat grapefruit and you put pepper on your food, so you're already doing it. It's just not as concentrated as it is when you're consuming it in essential oil form. But the FDA has gone through and tested it to see if it's poisonous at that form, and they have deemed that it is not. So those are all very, very, very safe places, okay? So how do you take oils internally? You can put them in food and in drinks. You can add them to veggie capsules. You can drop them under the tongue and hold an oil there for 60 seconds. That's called sublingual use of the oils. That's in my opinion, outside of rectal use, that is the most powerful use of an essential oil, is to drop it under your tongue. And then emotions that are stored in the body can cause physical responses. So try some of the emotional oils in the starter bundle. My favorites are Valor and Stress Away. It's pretty amazing. One thing that I just learned in care school tonight, which I think is pretty cool, is all of your other senses, when you are seeing, when you're hearing, when you are tasting, when you are touching, that data, that information goes right here. It goes to the cerebral cortex, which is the reasoning part of your brain. When you breathe an oil in, the very first place that it goes is to your limbic lobe, which is directly in the center of the brain. Like if we were to go right into the middle of your brain, that's where the limbic lobe is. It's emotional. So all the things you smell skip the reasoning part of your brain and go directly to the emotional brain. And that's the only sense that does that. The other 4 senses don't do that. They have to go through the thinking part and reason and get deduced and deducted and all those things, right? But instead, anything you smell goes to the emotional part of your brain, which is very powerful. Very, very powerful. So that's the first part of the mini. The second part of the mini for Essential Oils 106, which is the Fearless class, hey Amy, is a heart message. And so this is brand new stuff. It's not anything that I have in any other book I've ever written. I did a total top-down rewrite, and I pretended like somebody was sitting next to me on a couch. And if it was somebody I was trying to sign up to my team, and I was using the Fearless class as a tool to sign them to my team, what do I want them to know? So I just sat through and hashed through what is the most important thing from this class to really get to the heart of why I'm teaching this topic. Like, why does it matter? And so this is fresh content. It's not in the script book. It's not repeated anywhere else. This is me sitting down with your person. They just came to your class. They've got the mini in their hand. They're sitting at home at night. They're thinking about getting their starter bundle or buying some oils from you. And they open up the book that you just gave them and they turn to the class and they read the heart message. And then my prayer is that they go to youngliving.com and become a member of your team, that they feel convicted from the stirring of the heart message. So let's jump into it for Fearless. It's just a short little thing. So heart message is the why behind the training. This class was so much fun. And as an aromatherapist, I'm having a really good time when I can teach people how to play. So this class is a compilation of over 25 years of reference guides and every single application of oils that I could find, dating back to before the founding of Young Living in the early 1990s. So I hope that you've walked away with oodles and oodles of ideas if you have read this class top down out of the script book. I pray it's just been a blessing to you. The trick now is to apply it. Now, you're going to get the most out of this if you go home, pick 5 things and give them a shot. So take an Epsom salt bath with 20 drops of lemon essential oil. Massage a child's feet with Stress Away or Pan Away. Make up your own blend with 3 or 4 different oils and let it sit for 24 hours. Does it smell differently than when you made it? Test out the emotional oils. Do you feel relief when you're deliberate about using an emotional oil? If you're stressed out and you grab Stress Away or Peace and Calming, do you feel a change in your stress level? If you're angry or you're scared and you grab Valor and you smell it for, do some deep breathing for 60 seconds, do you feel different? Do you feel not as tense, after you're done breathing it in? So take note, actually start hunting for your wow moment with the oils. Do you feel differently the next day when you diffuse an emotional oil like Valor overnight? I got one. I want you guys to try diffusing sandalwood tonight or diffusing cedarwood tonight. Both of those are amazing for emotions for the next day. Or just dropping joy on your heart or rose on your heart tonight. See if your day is a little bit different, especially if you have a SpongeBob Grumpy Pants in your house. Diffusing one of those oils or dropping it on the heart. Whoa! So then write down some of your favorite tips from the class and play. I like to call this my oils biology class because you're only going to truly experience Fearless if you dissect the oils at home and you create your own aromatherapy moments in the house. This is where oils are really gratifying. So whether you love DIYs, doing it yourself, or you just want to learn a new skill that you can use when you need it, take some of the things in this class and just run with it. Get a few people in your home, try it together. Group oiling is a blast. Not only did the Lord give us a plant playground to study for life, but he gave each plant new secrets that we get to unlock every single time that we explore. So go explore. All right, go explore. Shay says that I first used sandalwood for back pain and I diffused it and it helped her with being tense. So that's awesome. Susan says, I need the minis. It's concise and insightful. Yeah, it's literally 2 pages. What I just read you guys is only 2 pages of content. So that's the heart message. It's just really challenging your people to get out there and go play. So then the third section in the mini just gives them some direct action steps. I found when you're direct with people and you tell them what to order and you tell them what to do, usually they'll turn around and they'll go do it. All right, they'll go do it. So I gave them an ordering list from this class. Stock up on some new oils. Here are my top 10 oils. Oh, what are high vibe oils? Those are oils that are very high frequency, like cedarwood is crazy high frequency. So here are some of my favorite oils to stock up on. Helichrysum, Northern Lights Black Spruce, Christmas Spirit, Lime, Tangerine, Blue Tansy, Brain Power, Myrrh, Vanilla, and Neroli. Amazing. So snag another diffuser because you need more than one in your house. The Aria is the creme de la creme, but the Rainstone is my personal favorite diffuser. And then the last section is action steps. Just this last little piece right here. And in the mini, I'm just going to tell them some ideas on what to do. So load up on supplies to do your oils playing. So maybe V6 is a carrier, vegetable capsule so you can take some oils internally. Oh, Kid Power. I love that oil. I love that oil. Rose ointment is a carrier, or Genesis hand and body lotion is a carrier. Maybe CBD Beauty Boost as a carrier, or now we have CBD carriers that Young Living has created. Roll-on bottles or drams from Amazon. Try the Feelings collection to level up on your emotional oils arsenal, and spruce up your use of internal oils with the Vitality Culinary Kit. That's got a stainless steel mixing bowl, culinary cookbook, which is my personal favorite in that kit, a bamboo oils kitchen rack, and 6 Vitality oils. Or you can order the DIY craft box and do some serious craft working. So this box comes with 5 sets of air spritzers, creams, a lotion making kit, and a lip balm base. So it's like next level DIYing. I love it. So Mary Beth says, there's only 6 that I use right now, and I've got 16 diffusers. Oh, you got to get them all going, right? So that wraps up the mini. And we'll break that back out again next week when we do Oils of the Bible. So Oils of the Bible is a class I'm going to be teaching on Thursday. All right. Feelings kit is amazing. All right. Now we're going to shift gears and do what we're supposed to do tonight, which is the workbook. And I don't want to keep you guys too late. Why is Rainstone my favorite diffuser? I'm just really drawn to it. I don't know. I got to tell you though, I believe it's called the Lucia diffuser. That one is really getting a place in my heart because it is a centerpiece. Like you can decorate your whole living room around that diffuser. It is amazing. It's huge and it's colorful and it's just really cool. It's almost like people that put those the digital photo frames in their house, and people walk by and just stare at them. I have the Lucia in my living room and people just stop and they just stare at the diffuser. The Rainstone, I just love the look of it. I am not a very girly girl. I'm kind of tomboyish. And so I like the Lantern diffuser too, but like the Desert Mist and the Dewdrop, I'm like, eh. But the Rainstone is just sleek. I love the colors on it. It's an ultrasonic diffuser, so it's very powerful. And I just really like that diffuser. It's my personal favorite. Yeah, but the Lucia, I don't know. Stay safe out there in your car. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm surprised I even have a signal right now, to be honest with you. All right, so let's take a look at the workbook for a few minutes. If you guys do not have this yet, oh my word, you're missing out on a huge part of the script book. Huge part. I don't know if you've seen this, but this book is as big as the script book, and it actually outranked my book on Amazon. I was kind of ticked off about it because I put so much work into writing the scripts, and then my workbook outranked my book. I was like, what the what? So yeah, the Luster. Oh, I think that's the one I like better, was the Luster. Thank you, Ellen. I get the Luster and the Lucia mixed up. I like the big one, whichever one was the big one of the two. So when you open up Fearless in your workbook, the first thing you're going to see is this. We took every single one of the dividers from the teacher's editions and we turned them into coloring pages, because how many of you guys know what the oils actually look like in real life? You know, do you know that wintergreen has red berries? You know, do you know what cypress? Did you know that this is what cypress look like? Look at that, guys. That's cypress. It's a type of pine. It's a pine tree. So it's a really skinny, tall pine tree, but maybe you didn't know that. So I wanted I wanted a luster. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. So I wanted you guys to know what the plants look like and really get to know them on a different way. So for every single one of these coloring pages, we are uploading them to the media package page. So you don't have to buy my workbook to color the pages in. We're just going to give them to you for free. But it is a blessing if you get the workbook. I appreciate that. But if you want to just color it in, or you want your team to do coloring exercises with you while you're doing the classes, have them all get Prismacolor colored pencils while you're teaching the class, and hold contests on your team for the best coloring page. So we put the actual divider up on my website so that they can see what colors the plants are. And then we put the coloring page that you can download and just print off. So you just send your team to my website, give them the link to the coloring page, and they download it and print it off, and they can color it whether they have the book or not. Yeah, the coloring pages are really, really relaxing. And we did a lot of research to make sure that all of the information was very accurate in it. So every single chapter in the workbook has 10 points, and it's 10 different ways that we're taking you through all of the ways to understand that class. So key points from the class, diffuser recipes, action steps, bonus training that's rare. I give you a checklist of products in the class, and people have asked me, well, why did you include that? All the products you're using in the class. It's because I want you to be able to tease your class and get OGV out of it. So say you're going to teach a class June 1st, and it's May 15th. You can go to my website, go grab the graphic that says these are all the products that you need for the class, and you can tease it for a couple of days and say, listen, we're going to teach on Fearless at the beginning of the month next month, or we're going to teach on Oils of the Bible at the beginning of the month next month. If you want to take part in the class, these are all of the products that I would recommend if you want to do the entire class and all the DIYs and everything with it. This is everything that's mentioned in that class. And so you put it out there so people order it and they've got it in hand by the time that you're teaching the class. Okay? How do you know what oils are not safe for cats or dogs? There's a lot of literature out on that. I'm not a veterinarian, Sandy, but there are veterinarians that have written oils books. My favorite one that's up on Amazon is not actually a Young Living book, but it's called the Animal Desk Reference, the ADR. It's a big encyclopedia looking book, and it's phenomenal. It's got everything in there. That was written by a veterinarian. So every single chapter opens up with just a little, chit chat between you and me. So I'm going to give you the little chit chat. Some things when we're going over the workbook, it doesn't make any sense to just read them out loud, like all the diffuser recipes or the checklist of products or the journaling. Like it's really, it's just kind of a waste of our time. So that's more for you and, for you to sit down and do in the workbook yourself. But some of the things are very, very good to read out loud. So, I got another announcement. I forgot to tell you guys. The mini just went live on Amazon, and the Kindle version of the mini is live now too. So if you have any international members, they can all, download it electronically and not have to pay customs or shipping for the mini now. So that's awesome. That means we have the script book and the workbook and the mini all up on Kindle. And that's pretty amazing. And then starting Tuesday, I'm going to begin the very long, harrowing project of recording the entire book to Audible so that you guys will be able to listen to the entire script book and all 25 classes as podcasts. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Audible is a wonderful delivery system. All right. So chapter 6, Essential Oils 106, which is Fearless, how to play with your oils. One of the things my leader's doing with Kindle, another reason to get the book on Kindle also, is you can open it on your phone. And that means you can, in the middle of nowhere, with no teacher's edition and no book with you, teach an oils class. So if you bump into somebody in a Starbucks and they're interested in Oils of the Bible and you've got the book on Kindle on your phone, you can literally open the script right on your phone and read it right off your phone to somebody that you just met. So that's pretty cool. Like that's kind of a neat feature. So I have one of my leaders in Idaho teaching classes off of her cell phone right now because of the Kindle version. So yeah. So yes, it is coming on Audible. It's a very big summer project for me. It's not easy recording 700 pages. This is the biggest book I've ever written. So be patient with me and I will give you regular updates on where I'm at. And keep in mind, I'm also, running boot camp at the same time. So I do as much as I can. I'll probably buy the Audible version because I love listening to your voice. Thank you. I'm actually anchoring news tomorrow. So if you guys want to download the Family Life One app to your cell phone, it's a little triangle looking app. You can listen to me anchoring Morning Drive, 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, and 9 a.m. I will be live on Family Life doing the news. So this is what I've done for 23 years and I love it. All right, so let's jump into the workbook content and then I'll do a whole bunch of giveaways at the end. So this is really the flagship class of the entire book. You might disagree with me and you might think that it is Raindrop or Oils of the Bible, but if you don't have the basics of understanding topical, aromatic, and internal use, you are sunk as an oiler if you don't get it, right? So that's why this class is the largest in the entire book, because I looked through every reference guide I could find since Young Living was created and I compiled lists upon lists of all the ways to use the oils. And I actually left one way out on purpose, but I'm going to include it in the workbook so you have something special. There's an entire technique that I launched in the workbook that I have never talked about anywhere else, that I stumbled on in a really rare reference guide, and we're going to cover that just for you guys getting on with me for this video. So my people that are on live and my people that watch us tomorrow or the day after, you're going to learn a brand new technique that you may have never heard of before in this class right now. So the topic of why oil is so important that I wrote an entire book called Fearless, and it was the most read aromatherapy book outside of the reference guide in all of Young Living. I mean, we sold over 4 million of those in 1 year. So it's crazy. That book's been shared all around the world. So if you like this class, you can go grab the little book and use it as a tool with your team. And it's because it explains our entire worldview when it comes to clean living. Why do you fight for your family so hard? Why not just accept the norm that there are poisons in this world and you will be exposed to them? Why do we oil? When you reach people on a heart level, they shift. So simply demonstrating something isn't enough. Showing them science is not enough. And that's why this chapter is so important. So if you need a little book to include in your classes or follow up, Fearless would be my follow-up choice. So this class is real, it's raw, it's completely rewritten top down, and I got to the root of the issue. One of the frustrations with the medical system is that we're always fixing things after the fact. It's about the treatment of disease. But what if we lived in a world where we didn't treat things, but we set the stage for our body to be strong enough to correct it in the first place? That's a powerful question. It's exactly why we do what we do in Young Living. It's about preventative maintenance, right? It's about wellness, staying above the line of wellness. It's about supporting the body so the body can do its own fighting. That's how oils work. And if you understand that, then you've hit on the deepest part of oil's science. No oil goes in and glues things back together. But what they do is they wipe cell doors clean. They improve oxygen to the cells. They help the cells communicate with each other back and forth. And when all your soldiers in the battlefield can talk to each other, then you, my friend, have changed the playing field. Imagine having a factory with 100,000 workers and nobody in that factory, nobody can talk to each other, right? How well is your factory going to be run? Not very well. Now you're sending essential oil in and they're all communicating with each other really well. You changed the game, right? So Kim says, this book is sent with any new member on our teams. I love this book. Thank you, Kim. Kim, I'm going to send you 25 script book minis now as a thank you for utilizing Fearless on your team, Kim Brower. So just make sure you email me at oilabilitywithsarah, SARAH @gmail.com, and I'll give you another tool for your arsenal. So let me share one more sentence with you that I loved in the intro of the lecture because it's really powerful from 106. It truly gets the room that you're speaking to thinking. When I read labels, I see something completely different than what the companies are seeing. I see disclosure, and I will never lower myself to industry standards ever again. All right, I love that. A label is a disclosure. It's how they're actually making their product. I love it. I just drove past a Purina Pet sign for a factory out here that is producing Purina pet food. And they have all this stuff up there talking about how natural and how amazing they are. So I went to the Purina website and there's like 20 chemicals in their dog food. And I'm like, okay, your label just gave you away. It just gave you away. We're on to you, man. You can't tell me that your stuff is all natural and good, and then you flip it over and you look at what's actually in it, and it's like, all right, I don't believe in that at all. So I wrote on here, tell me what this means to you, right? Tell me what it means to you to be able to understand disclosure and what companies are actually doing with their products. Okay. So key points from the class. So we're not going to go through all 10 of these. I won't keep you guys for an hour, I promise. But what I want to do with this is get your team thinking. Like, I want them to step back and just tear apart this lecture and start applying it to themselves, applying it to their house, applying it to the way that they make purchases, and truly thinking through the stuff that we have studied. So these are the questions that I'm asking your team. And when you take this workbook and you hash it out with your team and with your leaders, this is the stuff that they're thinking about and filling in these blanks. It's not just like, why was the shirt red on page 82? Like, it's really going through and hashing some deep issues out of these classes so that they step back and see the root of the issue and why some behaviors in their house need to change. So what makes Young Living a pioneer in the industry? Name some things that stood out to you in the class. You know, what was it that makes Young Living different? When I think of Young Living, one word comes to mind, and then they write it down. Without oils, your body's blood absorption rate of supplements is, and with oils, it is. What are 2 really good reasons to start cleaning out your cabinets? Have you watched the scavenger hunt video? And if you haven't, why not? And then I tell them how to do it. How often should you use oils? And then they can step back and say, oh man, it's been like 3 days since I put an oil on, or it's been 3 months since I put an oil on my body, right? What's one reason you shouldn't fear oils? Name an aromatic tip that you have not tried. Why should you use colored glass when you're storing oils? What's wrong with burning candles in your home? They're going to be like, please don't take away my candles. And be like, nope, you're going to take away your candles. You're going to feel convicted about your candles. What benefits do diffusers have over using candles instead? Right? How many drops of oil should go in a diffuser on average? So some of the stuff is really practical, hands-on, and some of it gets them thinking, it gets them thinking about stuff that's in their house. Just for fun, how many combinations of vanilla are there based on the current number of oils in Young Living? What do you do with redness? Tell me one thing you learned about the simple human anatomy section. So where to place oils. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just put the oil on your body, right? Just get it on. 90% of bugs enter through the blank and end up in the digestive system. So how are things getting into your body? It's been more like 3 minutes since I've used an oil. Good job. Write down Krista Smith's nose swab recipe. She's amazing. How many Vitaflex points are there in the body? What are 2 types of topical application in the aromatherapy world, and what makes them different? What's the difference between layering and blending, and how do you do them? What are 3 rules for blending an oil? How many drops of oil are in a single bottle? How many drops of oil can you put in an Epsom salt bath? So now they're going to step back and say, okay, candles are gone out of my house. I know how to make blends. I know how to layer oils. I know how many oils need to go in a diffuser, right? I know how to take an Epsom salt bath and what that looks like. Name 1 topical tip around the house that you didn't think of before, and then try it. Ooh, Lee says, oils led me to healthy eating with Whole30. That's awesome. The longer essential oils stay in contact with the skin, the more likely, and you fill in the blank, what multi-step process do Gras, generally regarded as safe oils, have to go through? How do you take oils internally? Is there a physical response to an emotion? And in the wrapping up section, give me 2 things that you learned. Stop fearing what the Lord created and start to. And try 1 new oil a month for the next 6 months. So that's a challenge for you guys on your loyalty rewards order. Every single month, I want you to add 1 oil that you don't own to that order. Every single month. Could you imagine what happened to your team's OGV if your whole team did that? Every month for 6 months, they tried 1 oil that they didn't own, and they made sure it was on their order. All right, so now we're going to talk some action steps to make you an oiling pro, right? This is where we really just shred this script, and I say, okay, do A, B, C, D, E. Like, this is what I want you to do to really understand this topic and to get the most out of it. So I could easily pull several hundred action steps from this 1 chapter alone. But instead of keeping you busy with 1 chapter until the 2nd script book is published, yes, I have already started a little bit of research for the 2nd script book. A little bit of research. I'm not writing it yet. I'm just going to give you my top 20 action steps. So here's number 1. Get different carriers and start to experiment with the different carriers. I already told you my favorites: the DIY kit, Rose Ointment, Genesis Hand and Body Cream, the Animal Sense Ointment, Cool Azul Pain Cream. Now we've got the CBD carriers, which are wonderful. While you're at it, learning to oil with all 3 schools of thought, I want you to grab veggie capsules for internal use and an extra diffuser, because you need all the tools to be able to play. Then I want you to pick 3 articles on the Lavender Life blog. That's a blog put out by Young Living that you love, and put them into practice. Also, watch at least 1 Young Living and Training Education video on Facebook created by Young Living Corporate. Make your own blend using vanilla oil. So I'm getting you blending. I'm getting you using carriers. I'm getting you making veggie caps, right? 1 and just 1 each month. I love trying new oils. That's awesome, Monica. Oh, Carolyn just realized there's going to be another script book. There is. I was writing the Gary class, and God gave me ideas for 33 more classes. So there's probably going to be 2 more script books, but I'm going to take my time writing them. This one I wrote really fast. I'm not going to write the next one this fast. So add purification to your shoes and prepare to be wowed. Make a Thieves stain stick. This is one of my favorite things to do. So you can either take a roll-on and put undiluted Thieves household cleaner in it, or you can mix the roll-on 50-50 with Thieves household cleaner and Thieves laundry detergent. I learned another little DIY hack tonight when I spilled a bunch of stuff on my shirt. Did you know if you don't have either of those and you don't want to travel with liquids, like if you're flying, although I always do, I always put a thieves stain stick in my carry-on, always. But if you don't want to travel with any liquid, did you know you can take the activated charcoal bar soap and bring that with you, and that will also get stains out of clothes as well, which I thought was pretty cool. So if you're dealing with a super stain, try treating the spot with Thieves whitening toothpaste before you use the stain stick. I know everybody on this live is like, what? You can rub Pan-Away on your feet at night, just one at a time. You know I'm trying to bait you here. It's like those old Lay's potato chip commercials where they say you can't eat just one. So just rub Pan-Away on your feet right before you go to bed. Amazing. Yeah, the next class that I'm writing for the second script book is a Candida class, so I'm pretty excited about that one. When you're stressed out, do deep breathing exercise with stress away, or start your day with valor and just breathe it in for 3 minutes before you get out of bed, because it can set the tone for your entire day. Go take a super hot happy birthday Jesus bath for at least half an hour, and add 20 drops of frankincense to 2 cups of Epsom salt. If you want to up your game, you can also add 5 drops of myrrh and 5 drops of balsam fir. It was believed that balsam may have been the third gift from the wise men, because balsam, I'm about to blow your mind here, balsam was commonly called gold in Jesus's time. So all those stories you've seen of the 3 wise men coming up with money in their hands and 2 bottles of essential oil, it might have actually been 3 bottles of essential oil, and they might have been talking about balsam, perhaps. So you could take a happy birthday Jesus bath by putting frankincense, myrrh, and balsam in some Epsom salt and soaking in it for 20 minutes. Just one time, make a smoothie with Pure Protein Complete for breakfast instead of skipping breakfast or doing coffee or another hot drink, and then follow the smoothie recipe that I gave you in this class. Try mopping the floor with 20 drops of Northern Lights Black Spruce in your Thieves mop water. I'm going to totally rock your world with this one because it smells so good, so good. Take all 9 raindrop oils and simply layer them on your feet before bed. If you really want to up your game, go read the raindrop class before you do it. Drop the oils from your heel to your big toe in a straight line. Alana's like, what? I know, right? Put Valor, I know I'm beta testing the Candida class right now, so I can't tell you much about it until I'm done beta testing it. I want to make sure everything I'm telling you guys is going to work. Put Valor on an emotional Vitaflex point on your ear, so you can just Google it to see what's the best point for you. The tops of your ears have to do with your mom and dad and releasing stuff from your mom and dad, so maybe start there. Right? The lobes of your ears, also really good places to put essential oils. Make the famous Krista Smith nose swab. She's a Royal Crown Diamond in Young Living, really good friend. Rub lemon all over your liver for 7 straight nights right before bed. If you're not sure where your liver is, it's on the right side of your abdomen, beneath the diaphragm, but above your stomach. When you have brain fog, drop 6 to 10 drops of frankincense on the soft spot in the back of your head. We talked about this tonight. It's the medulla. And then drop some on your hands and do some hand cupping, breathing it in for 60 seconds with the deepest breaths that you can take, and then add it to your diffuser. That toothpaste trick is awesome. My kids work at Whataburger and have super stains all the time. Yeah, those stains are legit. Dang, I hate being late. Some serious FOMO. Ha ha ha. I'm grateful you're in my life. Deb, I'm grateful you're in my life too. So drop joy oil on a grumpy kid's heart. We talked about that one earlier tonight. Make up your own blend from the starter bundle oils and get it going in your diffuser. And more importantly, write down what you did, because you don't ever want to forget what you were doing. I do that all the time where I make up blends and I love them and I don't write them down, and then I'm like, man. Throw all of your candles and air fresheners and car fresheners in the trash. You knew that was going to make the list, right? I'm going to reach through this book and I'm going to find them all in your house and throw them all away for you. Also, get all of the soy out of your house. And if you don't believe me on soy, the soy candles and the soy in your food, there's a wonderful book by Dr. Kayla Daniels called The Whole Soy Story that is just mind-blowing. Order the Thieves cleaning bucket and make a recipe or 2 out of the recipe booklet that comes with the bucket. And then write down your oils why. Why do you oil? Why does it matter to you to have oils in your life? So I know you guys feel like I probably oils vomited on you just now. That's the action steps section. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking those action steps and we're going to put them on little shareable graphics for you guys out of the workbook. So you have anywhere from 15 to 30 little workbook shareable graphics that you can do. So after you teach a class, you can post once a day or twice a day for 2 weeks after that class in your product groups. And all you got to do is put the image up and it's going to give them action steps to do for that day. right? The Whole Soy Story is the name of that book. I would really heavily recommend it, right? So those are coming. That's one of the things we're working on. I don't think we have them up on the site yet for the Fearless class, but we're working on them. So I'm not going to read all the diffuser recipes to you, but one of them is Wake Me Up and Put Me Down. And it's 2 drops of peppermint to 4 drops of lavender. It's really, really good. So, Young Living recommends mixing citruses and florals. So, for example, if you haven't mixed citrus and floral oils together, thieves and lemon, or cinnamon bark and orange, or eucalyptus radiata and rosemary, try mixing citruses and florals together and you'll really, really appreciate that. So favorite blends to diffuse from Young Living Corporate: Brain Power and Fulfill Your Destiny. Brain Power is one of my favorite oils of all time. On the blog, they say you can use 15 to 25 drops of oil in a diffuser. I still recommend that you start with 6 to 10 and just go real slowly after that. If you do have a really large room in your house, 25 is just fine. Josie says, I cannot picture my life without Young Living products. I use them every day, every single day. Josie Fountain, I don't think you've won anything from me, girl, so I'm going to send you 1 Oiler edition, 1 workbook, and 1 mini, so you can get a little sampling of all of the script book resources. So then what I do is I give you loyalty rewards ideas. Now I do this in the full script book too, but only for 1 month. In the workbook, I'm going to give you 3 months worth of ordering ideas at 190 PV, 250 PV, and 300 PV. So, for example, we talk about Luscious Lemon in this one. We talk about Transformation Oil Blend and Trauma Life. And we talk about blends for a nighttime routine like Rutavala and Peace and Calming. Boosting your brain. All the things. So then I go through, the 5th point is the checklist of all the products mentioned in the class, and it's a page and a half, so I'm not going to go through all of that, but let's skip to number 6, which is bonus training, not included in the script book. So I love these. These are just things that you guys have told me that you're interested in learning, or really rare trainings that I found, if it's stuff from Gary Young, from an old Harvest, or, you know, really old printed reference guide, and I just kind of collected stuff that's hard to find, and those bonus trainings are only in the workbook, so they're not in the main book. You can snag this book on my website, oilabilityteam.com, or you can get it on Amazon, get it on Prime in 2 days and save on the shipping costs. Benefit to getting in my website is it's discounted. It's cheaper than Amazon is, but you know, the shipping is cheaper on Amazon. So it just depends how you're using it. We just created a bundle that's got 1 teacher's edition, 1 workbook, 1 Oiler edition, and 20 minis, and it's discounted 10%. So if you want to put the word out to all of your leaders and have them all grab the bundle and start doing these classes with them in the summer and the fall, or prepare for a big, huge launch on your team right after convention, there's now an easy button where you can just give them 1 link and they'll get a sampling of everything in there. All right, so let's jump into the bonus training. We're almost done for tonight. You guys have done amazing. Carolyn says my Junior order has grown from all the things that you have just told us tonight. I love this. All right, so bonus training. Now, don't worry. I'm not going to show you photos of everybody's oils racks again. We did that earlier in one of the earlier classes. No, this time we're going to take it on a smaller scale. How are your oils organized on your shelf? So there's basically 3 systems of organization. So, you know, you first start in Young Living, you've got 12 oils, right? And then you get on Loyalty Rewards, and now you've got 16 oils or 20 oils. And the next month you got 25 and 30. And then you have an oils rack, and you're trying to organize them on the rack, right? And I showed you all the pictures early in the script book of how people put them on their shelves, but how do they organize them so they can find their oils? So there's basically 3 systems of organization out there. Tammy says she does colors. That's good. Angela says categorical. I'm with you, Angela. So number 1 is alphabetic. Yep, Sandy says alphabetic. You got it. Number 2 is by color. There are actually people that do organize them by color, and there is some method to their madness, because like a lot of the tree oils are blues and greens. And then the 3rd is by how they're used, which is the way that I organize my oils. So the first 2 are pretty cut and dry. Alphabetic, you're, putting abundance oil, then believe oil, then cedarwood oil, then dreamcatcher oil. By color means you got all the red oils together, all the yellow oils together, all the green oils together, right? And you basically remember what color the bottle is so that you can find it when it's on your shelf. Now, the third way is definitely more unusual, and it's how I organize my oils, because I'm always thinking like an aromatherapist when I'm grabbing my oils. It's sort of like going into Blockbuster Video, and I'm totally dating myself here, and walking directly into the action adventure section. I want to know all the oils that I have for breathing. I want to know all the oils that I have for the liver, right? I want to know all those oils, all my oils for helping me think clearly. Then I can see them all in one sitting and use them how I want to use them. So sometimes an oil is going to fall into more than one category, and that's okay, because I'll just own more than one bottle of it, and then I keep it in that category. So these are some of the categories that I have my oils in. I actually went downstairs. We have huge racks that hold actually each of my racks holds about 400 oils, and I have those racks all over my house in almost every single room. So this is Sarah's organization system by use. And if you have the workbook, it actually lists every single way that I organize my oils. So I put all my citruses together on a shelf. So we're talking bergamot, grapefruit, lime, lemon, tangerine, jade lemon, lemon myrtle, like all of those. They're all in one shelf. Raindrop oils. I have a shelf just for raindrop. Biblical oils. I got a couple shelves just for biblical oils, and there's some weird ones on there that you might not place in the biblical oils category. So I've got 3 wise men there. I've got white angelica there, which demons hate the smell of that oil. So sometimes I'll throw a dream catcher over there because it helps so much with nightmares with my kids. I will put Exodus 2, which is the holy anointing oil. 3 wise men, which is an emotional release oil, but also a biblical oil. Believe oil, I put in the biblical oils section. So it's just easy for me to find them. I also put myrrh, elemi. Did you know elemi is poor man's frankincense? Same species of oil, just different plant, but same category. Then I have an entire shelf of immune supporting oils. I have a whole shelf of breathing oils and all the different eucalyptuses and RC and Raven Sarah and myrtle and all those. Then I have oils that are specific to an organ. So like ledum and Juvacleanse. Those are both really good for the liver, right? Aroma Life is really good for the heart. So I will have like a little section for that. I have the Golden Touch collection together. I have the Freedom Release and Freedom Sleep collections together. I put all my animals oils together. Yeah, Egyptian gold in the biblical oil. Sacred Mountains in my biblical oil section. Yep. I put all the sex oils together in one spot, and the transformation oils. I put all of the skin oils together in one spot. So your geraniums and tea trees and sandalwoods and frankincense and all that. I have 2 shelves of tree oils with your hinoki and Northern Lights black spruce and the firs and cypress and cedar wood. Any oil that's made out of a tree, I have together. All the vitality oils are together, and in my vitality oil section, I subgroup them. So I've got poor man's oil, poor man's frankincense is elemi. And so these are subgrouped. So in my vitality oils, I'll have mints together, I'll have citruses together, I'll have herbs together, and all of that. Then I have my emotional oils. Those are all together. So that would be, your valor and peace and calming and stress away and forgiveness and hope and gratitude and gathering and all of that. Then I have all the kids oils together and the seedlings oils, baby oils. I have stress oils together on one shelf. So like I said, it's like walking into the action adventure section of a video store and you can see all the action adventure movies. So say I want a breathing oil, I can see every single oil that's good for the lungs in one spot. And maybe I sniff 3 or 4 of them, and one of them I'm really drawn to. But if one of those oils is red and one is brown and one is purple and they're all in different color, they're all alphabetized, I may not remember off the top of my head every single breathing oil that Young Living has. But if I have them grouped together, I'm more likely to not forget ones, because it's kind of like naming the 7 dwarfs, right? If you don't have them all together on a shelf. Other categories that I put together, oh man, I may want to reorganize. I'm making a good strong case for how I organize my oils, right? My sister thinks I'm nuts. She's watched me do this for 7 years and she thinks I'm crazy. Stress oils, brain oils. I have a whole shelf just for the brain. So those are oils like brain power, genius, frankincense, common sense, cedarwood, rosemary. I feel like I need to make you guys charts of all of the ones I have under each category and upload it to my website so you can see which oils I have where and why I group them together that way. That might be a fun little summer project. I love organizing and I love cleaning, so maybe I'll do it. Massage oils are all together, oils that I just really like in my massages. One thing I like to put in my massages is, you're going to think this is weird. In my V6, I dump a 2-ounce packet of Ningxia. If you've not done a Ningxia massage, you have not lived. Let me just say that. Roll-ons, I put all those together. All my energy oils are together, like energy, nutmeg, peppermint. My fitness oils, so the ones I use for working out, are together on a shelf. The ones for sleep are together. My business building oils, like Magnify Your Purpose, Believe, Highest Potential, Valor. I would not have built my business had it not been for Valor oil. So those are all together. Everybody wants the charts. Okay. Praying and spiritual protection oils I have together. Rare oils. So I have an entire rack in my house. If you come into my home, which you guys are all welcome, I love having visitors. But if you come into my home, you'll never see my rare oils downstairs. They're all upstairs in my bedroom. And so those would be like, and I have a whole rack just of rare oils, like my diamond oil that I got when I walked from Diamond from Gary, or the ylang-ylang that I distilled myself, a platinum retreat, or when I flew to Malaysia and I got an oil with a Malaysian label on it that I can't get in the United States. All my special ones I've got upstairs. Then I have a whole shelf of first aid oils, and then I have a shelf just for blending and mixing. So if they're oils that are just really good for mixing other oils together, myrrh, peppermint, lavender, copaiba, all of those are fixative oils. They're really good for driving and blending and mixing. Tammy says, so you really base them on how you personally use them, and everybody's category organization would vary slightly. You're right, Tammy. Everybody's organization system would be slightly different because you guys have all had different wow moments with the oils and different things you know about the oils that I don't know. So you might place an oil in a different category. Right? Absolutely. So those aren't actually all the categories that I have, but you get the gist of my system. And I told you, I just want to come to your house to get eye candy oil. That's awesome. My team thinks I'm insane. They can't find anything on my shelves. But when I organize alphabetically, I get lost. And I forget which 15 oils were great for breathing. Maybe I need myrtle, but all I can think of is RC. So if they're grouped together by how I use them, then I can weigh them all side by side. And I don't have to keep a running list of every oil for every use in my head. So that is my organization system. Gay says, who knew there were so many different categories? Yeah. Carolyn says, I still have my 25 years young cruise oils. They always bring a smile to my face. Yeah. Tammy says, I really need to know if you have the same oil in multiple categories. I do, Tammy. Tammy, you must have green in your personality. I think I'm turning your world upside down. Yeah, the wow moments are very, 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 very much a blessing. All right, we're up to number 7 out of 10. I hope you guys are enjoying the workbook, because man, did I have fun putting this together. I've heard of arnica for pain. Does Young Living use arnica? No, because arnica is not an essential oil. That's a homeopathic remedy, but it's not an essential oil. You can't turn arnica into an EO. So the 7th thing in this book is I always give you a DIY craft that's somehow related to the topic of the class that we did. So this one is a scented sachet for dresser drawers. And when I am done with boot camp, I'll probably go back and shoot these as little 60-second time release videos that you can go and share with your team. So we'll just keep adding media to the pages. So make sure you're frequently checking those pages to see what we've added since the last time you were on them. So for this, you do a 1/2 cup of cooked rice, a 1/4 cup of Epsom salt, a 1/4 cup of dried organic lavender buds. You can find those on Amazon. And then some muslin cotton drawstring pouches, 5 inches by 4 inches wide, and about 40 drops of lavender essential oil. In a medium bowl, you mix all the ingredients and you spoon it into the muslin pouch, and then you tighten the string and you place it where you want that scent. Because you're using rice, you can actually get another use out of this recipe. You could take any leftover that you have and make a lavender rice sock. So make the same ratios up, but this time add it to a sock. Now for this, you might want more like 2 cups of rice, 1 cup of Epsom salt, and 40 drops of lavender essential oil. I would skip the lavender buds in the recipe because they can poke through the sock and be a little uncomfortable for you. But you stitch the end of the sock, and when you have muscle tension or a mild headache, you put the sock on a cookie sheet in the oven at 250 degrees for 5 to 10 minutes. Then pull it out, let it cool, and place it on your neck or wherever it's sore. My husband uses this on his knee all the time, and he loves that soothing lavender smell. All right. Ugh, my heart is racing. I'm already behind. Poor Tammy. Yeah. So those are just a couple DIYs. All right. Let's do some affirmations for the class. And now, if you are a born again Christian and affirmations scare the tar out of you because they seem like some Eastern mysticism thing, I really just liken this to the skill of speaking life over yourself. I mean, it's a biblical idea to speak life over yourself. So, here's some affirmations, and I'm actually going to even give you some scripture along with it so that it is very soothing to you guys mentally. So I base these affirmations on learning something new. So each time we have a class, I have a different theme with it, and the theme for this was learning something new, because there's just a lot of learning going on in one space in the Fearless class. It's a very packed class. There may be a few more affirmations than normal because I have a traumatic brain injury and these really spoke to me. So speak life over yourself. Ephesians 4:29 says, "Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear." So I want you guys to go through the day tomorrow thinking to yourself, do the words of my mouth give grace to those who hear? That's the place that the Lord wants our tongues to be in. Proverbs 16:24 says, "Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body." And Proverbs 18:7 says, "A fool's mouth is ruin, and his lips are a snare to the soul." All right. Tammy says, "This was hard for me until I began to use scripture truths with them, but what we speak should definitely have power." I believe that too. I believe it. Speak life like Toby Mac. All right. So here's some affirmations. And this is just speaking life over yourself. All right. Any affirmation I need to recall comes, or any information that I need to recall comes effortlessly to mind. Day by day, I can do anything that I need to know. Every day brings me new challenges and new experiences. Every day, I am mastering new skills. So I'm learning new things every single day. Every day, I'm realizing new talents and abilities. Every day, I feed my mind new ideas and understanding. I'm improving my ability to retain information. Everything I learn is being stored systematically in my subconscious mind. I feel like I should read these to you guys before I teach the class, right? Everything I read brings me new and wonderful insights. I absorb knowledge like a sponge. Do you ever find yourself walking around, "Oh, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. I can't do that. I can't remember this. I can't. That is totally counter-scriptural, guys. Totally counter-scriptural, right? Start speaking the opposite of what's coming out of your mouth. So I am a nonstop learning machine. I don't care if I'm 72 years old. I am a nonstop learning machine. I am a quick study. I'm always prepared to accept new information. I am bright and I am clever and I am completely at ease. I am exceptionally intelligent. I apply new learning effortlessly. I give my undivided attention. I know that I can learn to do anything that I set my mind to. I can master anything with practice. I learn something from each and every person that I meet. I make the most of my education. I put into practice what I learned today. I'm grateful for my mind's ability to learn new things, right? I'm grateful. So those are the affirmations for this class. No negative self-talk. See if you guys can go 24 hours tomorrow and everything that comes out of your mouth is something positive. Right? Every single thing. Just like that Bible verse that I just gave you. If you need that again, it's Ephesians 4:29. I love that. That it may give grace to those who hear. Right? Give grace. I look really good for 72. I was just making up an age. All right. So journaling. I'm not going to read these every single week, but these are the questions that I like you guys to answer. Somebody left a negative review on my workbook this week saying it has stupid journaling questions and it wastes space. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. I gave you 700 pages that were not journaling. Can you just at least have something nice to say about this 1,400 pages of content in the books? I feel like I can give you a page or two for journaling because we overdid it in the rest of the workbook, right? So just think through some of these questions as you put your journal together, or simply write what's on your mind. All right. What oils have I used this week or this month? What results did I see? Is there an oil story that I want to remember? Did I help someone this week? What did I do? Did I see a new idea with oils on social media or elsewhere that I'd like to try? What hit me from this class, and what would I like to learn more about? All right. So Gay says the PowerPoint on 101 oils is not the same as the new script book. We'll go back and take a look at it. They're going to be slightly different because we include videos and stuff that we can't put into a book, but they should be pretty close. All right. The verse was, I believe it was Ephesians. Let me go back and check it again here for you. Ephesians 4:29. Okay. All right. So we're going to end with this. There is a brand partner corner where you guys can track your teams and track which classes they've had and all that. I'm not going to do that. That's number 10. There's 10 sections for each class. But one thing that I do, I don't know if you guys have seen these little gray squares at the end of the journaling section, but if you haven't seen it, you are missing out. I am playing Oily Hangman with you guys for the entire summer and fall. Every single time we wrap up a class, and we are now officially done with Fearless, you guys can get your stamp of Fearless approval. Every time we wrap up a class, I'm going to give you a letter. And you collect all those letters over the course of the entire class, collect all of them through the whole boot camp. And in the back of the workbook, there's a hangman game. So for this one, you're going to put the letter in 106, right? In the 6th spot. Your letter for tonight is N. N is in nugget, all right? When you collect all of them, it's going to have a phrase. And when you send that phrase to me, I will give you the first script from the 2nd script book that is unreleased. I'm not done writing that book yet. So that script is the Candida script, and it's not done yet. I'm beta testing it right now. So when we get through all 25 classes, you will have an opportunity to email me what that phrase is without giving it away. Do not give it away for people that haven't seen it yet. And you know, we'll do our part in bringing oils to every single home in the world. So I have now taught 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD, 105 the kids class, and 106 fearless, which means next week we're going to do this one, which is 107 oils of the Bible. And I will rock your world with this class. It's my favorite class to teach. I'm super excited. So Tuesday, we will do the class. It will bleed into Wednesday. This is one of my long classes in the book. And then Wednesday, we will do the mini. And Thursday, we will do the workbook, just like we did this week. So you got plenty of time to stock up on workbooks and books for your team. Stock up on the minis and use them to draw people to your classes. And join me on Tuesday. All right, join me on Tuesday. Okay. I missed the videos Tuesday and Wednesday. So if I watch the videos, does that count too? It sure does, Janet. Absolutely. Yes, for sure. It's really just for you reading the script and then answering the questions in the workbook. So if you don't catch every single video in its entirety, please don't feel like you can't email me. I just want to reward the people that have read the book, you know, and have done the work in the workbook. So for those of you guys that have done that, whether you've watched the videos or not, send me an email when you're through all 25. And when I am done with boot camp, that's when I'm going to start this. So just collect everything. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week. We're going to kick it off again next week. We totally restart everything, and we're going to do with oils of the Bible. So you're going to learn all things oils of the Bible, and you're going to be so oils of the Bible educated, and that you won't even know what to do with yourself by the end of the week next week. It's going to be a super fun week. I am going to be back in South Carolina next week, so I'll be back in my studio. I have a better quality video for you. Keep in mind, these are all collected and put up on my website. So if you miss it and you're having a hard time finding the video on Facebook, you don't need to do that. You can just go to the scriptbook page at oilabilityteam.com, click on that class, and you'll see all the videos collected in that space for you. All right. Okay. Let me pick some winners for some books. I'm going to give away 3 script book and workbook sets. So this is Oiler Edition and workbook together to 3 different people. All right. Winner number 1 is Julie Reagan. Congratulations. Winner number 2 is Vicky Sleeman, Sleeman. And winner number 3 is Ruth Thornton. So congratulations to my 3 winners. I so appreciate you guys. Email me at oilabilitywithsarah, SARAH @gmail.com, and we'll get those out to you ASAP. All right. Here's the mini. Go snag some of these for your team. They're up on Amazon, and you can get them in bulk, steeply discounted on my website, and use those to draw people to your classes and get them all excited all over again. I love you guys so much. I'm off to Anchor News in the morning and then go to the Care School all weekend before I fly home, and I'll be ready for you guys next Tuesday. I hope you have an amazing weekend. If you missed any of the content from Fearless, you got plenty of time to go back and reabsorb the videos and the content and read through your books and write all the things down. All right. I love you guys, and invite your teams, share these videos. We're going to run some contests over the weekend too. So stay on the lookout for those, but invite your teams to these trainings, because they haven't missed anything when they get on for the Oils of the Bible class. You don't have to have the other 6 classes to get that class. So invite people to the page and your teams, tag people in the videos, and let's learn oils together, right? This is what this mission of this book is all about. It's Gary's mission before he passed away, which was to bring oils to every home in the world. And we do that through product education. I love you guys, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.